Good morning, everybody. So before we get to today's project, got to do a little maintenance work on the old green monster here. So you can see I've got this wonderfully professional setup getting this thing jacked up off the floor, and we've got to change these blades. So show you guys old blades. What those look like. New blade. So we have worn these old blades literally down to the nub. I mean, they are just about as done gets. So time for a change because we got some mowing to do. So went down to the John Deere place and got some fresh new sharpened blades, and we're gonna stick these bad boys on here. So let's get to it. Kelly's cleaning out our air filter here, and we're gonna stick these on here and go do some mowing. I was trying to get the impact under here, but I couldn't get it lifted up high enough to get it on there.
The main thing you got to do is putting it in is what you're doing is making sure it's tight like it was before.
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. You want to hold that for me?
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, you got it?
Let it come on around.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah, you got that.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, but the Toyo's got the same problem. That cut, you know what I mean? And like you said, it probably does facilitate getting the grass out. Let's see how this one cuts. It seems to me like it might cut better, maybe. I might use that bag.
This other blade could be in my way. You know what? That right there might work actually. Let's see. Yeah, that's gonna work. Maybe. Let me see if it'll turn. Round over to that block and hold it right where I want it to be. Perfect. Oh, nope, I ain't getting enough room. There we go. La-dee-da-dee. Everybody. Alright, I'm gonna put the bar on that. See if I can't turn it anymore. There we go. That should work. pretty tight. Okay, so that's done, and one last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some grease in these bearings or whatever is in there. I'm guessing that's a bearing in there. So we're gonna grease those up with the grease gun and she'll be ready to rock and roll. Yeah.
All you have to do is hook.
And there she is, ready to go to work, I believe. I also greased these two little spindles for the front wheels as well, and we should be good to go. All right, everyone, it's a beautiful, sunny, early fall day in beautiful South Carolina, and this is today's project. We've got to mow this lot down, and then across that little wood line, that's actually a ditch there where all those trees are. On the other side of that, we got to mow that down, and then on the other side of that lot, there's another tree line with a ditch, and we got to mow that lot down. So we got 3 lots here. All this together is like dead on 5 acres, I believe. And I've mowed this lot a couple of times, and every time I've done it, except for the last time, I've done it with the skid steer. But the last time I cut it, and I didn't videotape it because I didn't know how it was going to go, but the last time I did it with this 0-turn mower, and it worked awesome in here. Even with those blades about as half dull as they were and worn out, it really worked well. Now, this is a 60-inch cut where the skid steer is a 72, but this thing actually goes through this stuff faster, and I can kind of like work around some of these trees. And the trees on the next lot, actually the third lot has the most tree. It has a lot of trees in there. I can kind of work around some of these trees and stuff a lot quicker with this thing than I can with the skid steer. And this thing is just a lot better for dealing with this thick grass. This part is the worst out of all 3 lots. Is this front part right here. It's got this like thick kind of road ryegrass, whatever it is, and it's just really thick, and the skid steer really struggles with this particular kind of grass. So I'm going to use this thing again today, and typically I can do this. I think the last time I did it, it's 5 acres, I did it right at about 4 hours, something like that. So it goes through it pretty quick. I'm going to leave this chute open, and the last time I cut with this thing, people were suggesting leave that chute open, so I'm going to leave that open. But I am going to cut this where the discharge, the first couple passes, the discharge goes back into the lot, because I don't want this nice manicured part that the city maintains. I don't want that all messed up and me having to come blow that grass off. So I'm going to just deal with it and blow the discharge first couple passes back into the lot so I don't make a mess out here. And then we'll start making our way around. So let's get started. Okay, so got this front part pretty much taken care of, where I've got enough room to kind of start throwing this stuff out. So I'm gonna go and start making my rounds this way, so as I come back through here, it'll all just start throwing that stuff out that way, and I don't have to keep coming down and around and going down. So we'll start over there and work our way around and just start getting this cut down. All right, this lot is done, and don't worry about like these little ditch areas here and over there. I'm coming back with the mini with the mulcher probably tomorrow. We gotta mow all these ditches down, cut them down, get them cleaned up, and I gotta clean up some stuff over there from where some limbs fell out of some of those pines. You can see one big one fell out of that pine right there, and so we're gonna clean all that up. And but this lot is done, at least with the mowing part, and we're gonna get to the next one. And it did struggle a little bit right here with some of this taller grass, but it got it down. But you know, it was either this or the skid steer, and this honestly actually does a lot better in that taller grass than the skid steer, believe it or not. So mostly because it has that discharge chute that they can get all that stuff out. That's one thing about the MTL, it doesn't have that, so all that stuff kind of ends up balling underneath the cutter with that taller, thick kind of this road grass or whatever this stuff is. So it kind of sucks with that thing. It's not as good. So this thing just goes right through that stuff a lot easier and just kick it all out. And you might have to go over it a little bit in some areas, but it gets the job done. So let's go over to the next lot and see what we got over there. So this is lot number 2, and it's a little bit smaller than that lot over there. I don't know by exactly how much, but I know it is a little smaller. It definitely doesn't have the issue with the taller grass in here. This one's a lot easier to do, and the only real complication is not that bad, but there's some more trees that I have to kind of work around back there, and that's why I really love this thing. Is just it's so much smaller than the skid steer. I can work around all those pine trees in the back so much faster and quicker. The only thing I have to watch out for is there's a ditch right here, there's another ditch that runs across there, and then it stops, and then another one runs back that way. As a matter of fact, the last time I cut this earlier this year with this thing, I actually got the mower stuck in that ditch over there. I had to go get the truck and pull me out, so got to watch that. There was a little kind of like an area where the water had kind of run off into the ditch, and I was cutting along, and then the back tire just slid right down into it. So, but other than that, this one's a little bit easier, so we'll knock this out and go to the third lot. All right, this lot is done. Didn't take too long. This one typically goes a lot quicker than that one over there. It's a little, like I said, it's a little smaller, and the grass in here is nowhere near as bad, but this is the second time that this has happened. Found me a little friend in here. Unfortunately, he did not make it. Copperhead. And the head of this copperhead is gone. So, I saw one in here last time, and he lived. I didn't hit him, but I hit another one over there somewhere. I saw him. I didn't pick him up. He was about half the size of this one. But yeah, when they're in the grass like that, they are definitely camouflaged. So, well, that'll be some raccoon or some possum. That'll be their dinner tonight. Throw them over there. But all in all, this turned out well. Yeah, it seems like I see copperheads in this lot. I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't have any more or any less mice than the other lots. The last lot to do, I doubt I'll be able to film anything in there. There's a ton of trees. There's a ton of low hang. It's both the easiest and the hardest lot to do. It's easy because it's the smallest, and because there's so many trees, there's a lot of shade, so there's nothing big in there really to mow. But it's the hardest because there's a ton of trees that you got to work around, and there seems to be more bugs in there. I'm kind of getting goosebumps just thinking about having to go in there with all the doggone spiders and crap that are hanging from the trees and stuff. So, but we got to get it done. So, I also found this. I picked this up. This in here, I opened it up. It has a car title in it. No crap. So good thing I didn't run it over. But yeah, it's got somebody's car title in it. I'm gonna have to. It's a Ford Fiesta. Is what I didn't take it out. I just kind of opened it up and saw what was in there, and it's a car title. So I might have to take that to the DMV. I don't know. But this is done, cleaned up, and like I said, I believe tomorrow we're gonna come and do the ditches. This one has like a ton of ditches on it. It has that one, and that one, and there's another one over there. It's got 3 or 4 of them on it that kind of crisscross it. So all is well, all looks good. And now we're gonna head over there to the last one. We'll see how that turns out. All right, everybody. There it is. That's the last lot. All mowed down. Wasn't too bad in there. This one, usually the grass is not bad. I just have to watch for blowdown out of some of these trees. And I really need to get the owner. There's like 3 big, 4, I think there's like 3 or 4 big widow makers in this lot that really need to come down. If I was in the skid steer, I really wouldn't, be too bothered by that, but in that mower, I don't have any overhead protection, so it's starting to concern me a little bit. But the only other thing I had to do is the homeless left me some stuff right over there. So I'm gonna have to come back, and me and Kelly are gonna have to come pick some of that crap up, I guess. Got a spider web on the back of my head here. Got hitchhikers all over me. I got crap all over me from head to toe. That's the only thing about that mower is you go home dirty as hell. But yeah, Kelly and I are gonna have to come bag all that up, clean it up. Part of our deal is, clean up if there's like major debris like that, piece of vinyl, like right here next to the road, sometimes stuff falls off these cars and makes its way over into these lots. But yep, all this is cleaned up, mowed down, bush hogged, whatever you want to call it. We just got to do the ditches. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and that'll be that for these lots. So Mower did a great job in here today. One thing I like about this mower too, using this mower for these lots, I'm gonna show you right now. See this gas gauge? It's not even at half. I didn't even use a half a tank of fuel or gas. I use ethanol free in this, which is like right now, it's a little expensive. It was like $3.90 a gallon or something like that. So it's fairly cheaper than, a little bit cheaper than diesel. Or I'm sorry, diesel's a little bit cheaper than the non-ethanol. I think diesel right now is like $3.30 a gallon. But doing these lots with the skid steer, I typically burn a tank and a quarter. So I'll typically burn somewhere around 25 gallons of diesel fuel doing these lots, something like that. Yeah, somewhere between 20 and 25, depending on how long it takes me and what I got to do. So 25 times 3, that's like, it's like around $70 or $80 of fuel, plus me having to pull all that weight over here with the truck. This thing is light. I put this on the little single axle trailer, and about a half a tank in this, because I filled it up before I came here and it had exactly half the tank, and it was like 6 and a little bit of change a gallon. So that's probably 5 gallons. So that's about $15 worth of gas ish, 15 to 20 bucks versus $80, 80 to 100 with the skid steer and towing it over here. So this is a lot. Not only is it faster, I know it's faster because I've cut these lots enough to know this is faster, it leaves a better finish, and it's a whole lot less money in fuel. So that's the other reason I really like it. So, all right, and it's a lot less overhead. You know, running this thing per hour, just the wear and tear on this thing, you know, versus the skid steer is a lot less. You know, the tracks, the sprockets, all that stuff on the skid steer, just the general hydraulic system and all that stuff. The filters, this is a lot cheaper per hour to run. So, all right, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I am out of here. So I will check you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.